How you doing, folks? So one of the best, if not the best teacher I had in my entire school career, this includes, elementary, junior high, high school, some college, trade school, all that stuff, was a teacher by the name of Mr. Valenti. And let me tell you why I grew to appreciate him so much. In our culture, we have what I call the silent racism of low expectations. All right. And what do I mean by that? I mean that generally people of color, people who come from poor communities or communities that are considered to be disenfranchised, women, etc., you can throw whatever label you want to throw after it, they don't have the same level of expectation to succeed, to progress, and to grow as, let's say, our Caucasian counterparts. And so with that, there's not as much emphasis generally on particularly educational success. The first day I walked into Mr. Valenti's class, and I had him, he was actually a high school teacher of mine. The first day I walked into his class, he made the announcement that, I still recall this is the homework tray. There was a tray sitting on his desk, and he said, I will never ask you for your homework. If you do it, you'll pass. If you don't, you'll fail. And that was a standard, or those were the standards that he ran that class by. It didn't matter whether you were black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Most of the kids didn't like him because he had those high standards, and he was not going to back down, and he did not care what your background was, what your supposed deficiencies were, what your family history was. That was irrelevant. He saw that each of us was capable of succeeding. Some of us would have to work harder than others, but we all were capable of succeeding. Whether that meant getting out of the class with a high 90s or getting out with a 67, because we didn't have an actual grading system in that way. We had a numeric grading system. As far as he was concerned, you were fully capable of succeeding in his class. It was because of his leadership style, his teaching style, that it really helped to foster the seed within me for the love of writing that I have, outside of the influence of my mom and various other individuals within my family. That really stimulated my desire to write, my love of writing, because he held such high standards. And within our culture, one of the major issues that you see within our communities is what I call the silent racism of low expectation. It's almost like we expect for people of certain communities to behave in certain ways. We expect for certain people of certain demographics to not succeed and to not achieve their best outside of anything but athletics. And that's problematic because we're so much more than that. And most people of color, most black folks are not going to succeed in athletics. And it's important that we succeed educationally. It's important that we succeed financially. It's important that we succeed in the various areas. And so that was just something I wanted to share with you, that how that individual really impacted my life and really challenged me. He wasn't a yeller, he wasn't a screamer, he wasn't riding you. He didn't call home because you didn't turn in your homework. He expected that at that point in your life, you should have developed the skills and the responsibility to get your work done. As far as he was concerned, he even spoke about this. He is running the class as if it were a college class, because he said you need to be prepared for college, and this is how college is. You need to be prepared for work, and this is how work is. No one's going to be chasing you around, asking you, have you completed your assignment? Do you have this done, or do you have that done? And so that's very important. So, that's the reason why I appreciated him so much, and that's part of the reason why I have an issue with people who look at other individuals from other nationalities, or other races, other countries, other backgrounds, whether they're male or female or whatever, and they lower their expectations based on the demographic that they fit in. Everyone is fully capable of succeeding at something. We're not all capable of succeeding at the same thing, but you have to find the area that you're good at and succeed at that. Don't allow your race, don't allow your gender, don't allow your family background, don't allow your community to dictate how well you succeed and how far you move forward in life. And so I just wanted to share that story about Mr. Valenti. I wanted to share that story in correlation to this silent racism or low expectation that has permeated through our culture. We hear so often about those other people over there. They're just, they're racist. But the truth of the matter is, the most devastating form of racism that you can ever inflict on a person and ever inflict on a group is lowering the expectations and then getting angry because they don't succeed. Raise the expectations and people will come up to meet or to match or to succeed beyond the level of expectation that has been communicated. Lower the level of expectation and they're going to fail, and they're going to fail miserably. This goes across the board. All right. So God bless you. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.